Hey everyone. Um, so I woke up this morning. It's a Saturday. I woke up and I got up and started going about my day and doing my daily tasks. And I realized that I was feeling kind of lost. Um, so I have a lot of things going on in my life. I've got an awesome job. It's stable, steady. I have an amazing wife who is beautiful, and I love her very much. And I have a great apartment. Um, I have an awesome family. My hobbies, everything is just going really well, and I'm very blessed. But I woke up this morning and I thought to myself, what is this all for? Why am I doing these things that I'm doing? What's my end goal? And I thought about that for a while. I mean, kind of in the back of my mind while I was going about my day, and I started thinking, well, I know for sure that um, ultimately the purpose of my life is to glorify God. I know that's my number one goal. But I forget that in my everyday activities, and I forget that, and I don't always take it to heart. I know it's true, but I don't always feel it. And I was thinking to myself, one of the verses, one of the Bible verses that I memorized as a child, or passages rather, was Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 that says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths." And I started thinking about that verse. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trust in the Lord. Trusting is recognizing that you don't have the power, but that He does. Trusting is letting go of trying to take control. Trusting is resting in His plan for you. And I thought to myself, I trust God. Sure. But the next phrase, with all your heart. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. That is big. That doesn't mean just trusting Him sometimes, or trusting Him a little bit, but still holding on to your own plan and to your own desires. Because that's what we naturally do as humans. We naturally hold on to and try to take control of our own lives because we want to. It's uncomfortable for us to let somebody else have that control, have that power over us. It doesn't come naturally to us. But to trust in the Lord with all your heart, that means letting every bit of your heart down to the deepest desires. Letting all of that be entrusted into God's hands. That's the first part. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. And then the second part, which is equally as important, lean not on your own understanding. We tend to think we know what's best. We tend to think, I have had X, Y, and Z experiences in my life, and they have taught me A, B, and C. So I know how this works, or at least I know how this one aspect of life works. And we think that to ourselves subconsciously. We don't necessarily think it consciously, but we think that, and we think, because I've experienced this, because I now have an understanding of how this works, I can be confident in that understanding. I can be confident in my experiences and rely on that because I know, because I've experienced that. And that makes sense to us. That makes sense in our minds. But that passage says, lean not on your own understanding. Do not rely on your own experiences. Do not rely on what you believe to be true. Do not rely on your own wisdom, on your own smarts. Because if we're relying on our own knowledge, our own experience, we cannot be putting our full trust in God. Those two parts work simultaneously together. We can't trust in the Lord with all our heart and be leaning on our own understanding at the same time. It doesn't work. So we have to trust the Lord with all our heart. And we have to give up trying to lean on our own understanding, trying to rely on our own experiences. And then it goes on to say, but in all your ways acknowledge him. All your ways is everything you do, everything you think, everything you say. In all your ways acknowledge him. We are recognizing, what that means to acknowledge is to recognize and tell yourself, God, not only that he exists, acknowledge that he exists, but also acknowledge that, one, he is powerful. He is all powerful. He has the power to control and to direct your life, my life. He is all powerful. And he uses that power to control and direct our lives. Acknowledge that he has power. To acknowledge that he loves you. He loves you so much. He loves you more than any other person on the face of this earth could ever have the capacity to love you. He loves you more than you love yourself and could ever love yourself. Acknowledge that he has the power to direct your life. Acknowledge that he loves you, and acknowledge that he will direct your life in a way that is good. Because he loves you, and because he has the power to, he will direct your life, and he will direct your ways in a way that is good. The Bible says that his ways are far above our ways, as far above our ways as the heavens are above the earth. He knows what's good for us. Not just in the sense that, like a parent says, I know what's best for you, and they do, usually. But he knows perfectly exactly what is good for us, and he designed us specifically to carry out the plan that he set for us. his plan, which is so much better than our plan. We just can't see it. And that's where trust comes in, because we can't see the end of his plan for us, which is hard for us not to know. It's hard for us not to know. We like to know things. We humans like to know things. But because we can't see his plan for us, or at least we can't see all of it, we have to trust in him. We have to trust that he knows what he's doing and that he is guiding and directing our lives for his perfect plan, which is the most amazing thing for us because he loves us. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. It's not a might. It's not he might direct your paths. He will probably direct your paths. No, he will direct your paths. That is a 100% guaranteed promise. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And I thought about that, and I realized that's all I have to do. I don't have to earn $1 million. I don't have to be the best in the world at my hobby. I don't have to be a perfect person. I don't have to earn or live up to anything. It tells us right there in Proverbs what you have to do. You have to trust in the Lord with all your heart. When you're lost, when you're feeling, why am I doing this? I don't know what the purpose is of all these things that I'm doing in my life. Where am I going? Think of Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths.